So we're just waiting for more people to join. I might start a poll right now. Wait a few more minutes. A few more minutes until everybody kind of starts joining in. Can everybody hear me? It's almost 11. I'm just getting ready to start it. I'm going to start the broadcast. Let me see. I got some questions or something. No questions yet. Good. So I made a couple polls for you guys. I'll start those polls up once more people join. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and start it up. Share a screen. So, what's going on here? Uh-oh. Might be having a little bit of difficulties. Let me see if this works better. There we go. Can you guys all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Like raise your hand or do something. Just so I can make sure everybody can hear me. I'm just gonna start with a quick little poll. Hands raised. Hands raised. I like it. All right. Um, I'm just gonna start with a quick little poll. I started with a couple polls today. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this poll up, and I just want to see how you guys can answer this. If you guys know this, when are wicks filled? I just want to know if you guys really know when wicks are filled. Um, there's only really one answer on this, so just choose wisely. Just want to make sure you guys really understand when wicks are filled, because wick fills are wick fills are a very easy way of making money in forex trading. So if you guys literally were like, you know what, I really don't know how to trade that much, or I've been trading for like a year and I've never heard of a wick fill. Um, literally, if you just looked for like 1 hour wick fills and 4 hour wick fills and daily wick fills, you can like literally have a trading plan just around wick fills, and and you'd crush it. You'd make all the money in the world. You'd be retired by now. I'm gonna go to the questions board real quick. Yep, David, you're right. I'm just gonna send you a little message privately confirming. I like it. I like it. So I'm just starting out just with a quick poll, just to see if you guys really know what wick fills are. It looks like some don't know what wick fills are, which is good. That's fine. It's not a big deal. When you learn what wick fills are, it can really help you out. No problem, Larry. I'm sending you a private message. Oh my gosh. So as I was saying, wick fills are awesome, guys. Like I literally for the majority of my trading, I just trade off like wick fills, higher time frame wick fills, hour wick fills, 4 hour wick fills. Um, like I was saying earlier, you guys can literally live off forex trading just from trading higher time frame wick fills. So I'm just gonna let the poll. I'm gonna let the poll Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Is that right? No video? No, yeah, there will be video. I didn't know you guys can't see my screen. Give me 1 second, guys. I think it's because the poll is going, so you guys can't see my screen yet. So about a little over 50% of you seem to know what the answer is so far. A lot of you don't know what the answer is, and some of you just have like other various answers, which is fine. It's not a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this poll now. It's been just about a minute. We got about a few people are in here. I'm just gonna close this poll down now so that I can share my screen. Everybody can see my screen, correct? Just put a little hand raise if you guys can see the screen. All right, cool. At least I see a couple of them, so I know people can see it. All right, perfect. So, how's everybody's trading week? I want to know how everybody's trading week went. I want to know how you guys did. I want to know some things you guys are struggling with, and then I'll go ahead and talk about my trades this week, what I did. I literally only took like, I think 3 max. No, I think I only took 2 trades this week. It was a nice week. Huge week, actually. Let me go to the questions board just to see if you guys got any questions. Oh, my questions thing is here. All right, so moving forward, nobody's struggling with lower time frame entries. Okay, that's fine. We'll touch on let's touch on lower time frame entries today. That's one question. Anybody else? Anybody else have something else they want to go over today? We've got one struggling with lower time frame. So my question is going to be, if you're struggling with the lower time frame, what is the lowest time frame that you're trading on? What is the time frame that you're trading on? Because if you're trading on too low of a time frame, that's probably why. Because if you're not understanding your higher time frame, then you're going to struggle with entering on like the lower time frames. Candle confirmations. Okay, so let's touch on candle confirmations. It's a good start. Good couple things to touch on so far. 15 minutes, but sometimes it doesn't make sense. I try to look at the 5 or the 30 minute. Okay, those are all great time frames. I mean, any time frame is good, in my opinion. It just matters on what kind of trader you are. So, Alex wants to touch on maybe some momentum shifts. Struggling on 2-1 and 2-2. Okay. 2-1 and 2-2 confirms. What else? Trading sessions and how momentum shapes up in those sessions. Okay, perfect. That's a great question. I like that question. Trading sessions and how momentum shapes in those sessions. Perfect. All right, that's a pretty good start. That's a lot of questions to kind of go over today. Because all these questions that you guys just put in here are literally basically what I was gonna just talk about with my entries even throughout the week. So everything will go through. What's up, buddy? Okay, so let's move forward. All right, so what do we want to start on first? I'm gonna start on nobody actually put anything about higher time frame. Let me let this load up. Okay, we've got momentum shifts. We've got trading sessions, the different trading sessions, and how the momentum just kind of moves in those sessions. So first of all, we're just gonna go over USD Jappy right now. I'll go over Euro USD after. It's just because I have everything written up on USD Jappy right now. I didn't trade UJ today. I traded EU. If you guys saw my Instagram, it was just a cleaner day. USD Jappy didn't have as much clear momentum that I'm looking for, especially on a Friday. Like Friday is really going to kind of set up for the next week. So, all right, moving forward, let's go with lower time frame entries. I'm going to start with lower time frame entries because that was the first question, right? When we're talking about lower time frame entries, you've got to understand, number one, what your trading plan is and what you're looking for. You got to understand what you're looking for, because if you can't comprehend what the hour time frame is doing, then you're not going to really know what to look for on the lower time frame, right? So an example is going to be this. We've got, just going to move this down here. I'm going to delete most of these other things. There's a little too much noise going on here. I still have some chart markups from one-on-ones with students throughout the week. Let me get rid of all of these. Just kind of clean it up just a little bit. All right, so moving forward, we've got this for an example. So this is post Nikki. This candle here is after Nikki open, after Nikki session. So if we're trading based off like understanding higher time frame momentum, where we're saying, okay, well, the higher time frame's telling us we're going down, right? So if the higher time frame's telling us that we're going down, you can expect a pullback, also known as like a liquidity wick, right? So an example is this is a very good example right here. We've got, of course, prices making lower highs. This is only looking at the 1 hour, or the 1 hour. I haven't even looked at the 4 hour yet, right? It's lower highs, right? Like we have strong rejection going down. Of course, we have a little bit of a pullback moving into the next day, but we know Nikki has a push. We know that Nikki open has a push. So right around this time is post Nikki. It's after Nikki. We know there's volatility in the market, right? So things that I'm looking for is stuff like this. So here is our most recent. After price had already launched up and started to fail to break the support, and also let me call you back. I'm doing the webinar. All right, later. Moving, we've got, you can see that we look left, right? We've got this nice zone, right? First of all, we have to touch on zones because I don't want to leave that out of the picture. I really don't want to leave that out of the picture. You've got to be able to have your zones and stuff drawn up off of your 1 hour time frames, 4 hour time frames, and daily time frames. Those are the majority of where my zones are drawn up. Like I'm going to look left. I'm going to draw up a zone, right? I'm going to look left here. And you can see, you look left, and you can see here's a price. This is a place price touches. Look left again. You can see it touches here. It touches here. It touches here. This is a very, very solid zone, obviously. You look left, and what is it doing? The exact same thing, right? So touching on lower time frame entries, we've got, you can see by post Nikki, of course, price launched all the way down here. We've got a huge wick to potentially fill, right? But there's no absolute clear momentum. Price comes up again, it rejects, so we just have a whole consolidation box here. We have a whole consolidation box here between support and resistance. Price ends up making another lower high, right? And then price closes off here. So if we're trading based around like hour time frames, 4 hour time frames, and then we're looking for entries on our 15-minute time frames, if we're already sell bias, you can see price is failed to break. It's failed to break the resistance. Obviously, we can see how it's just failed to break the resistance. It's made another lower high. I'm assuming that the 4 hour time frame is also telling us that we're bearish just by looking at the 1 hour time frame. I can see we probably had some wicks to go fill. But once price closes like this, right, we're on a support zone, but we left a huge wick to go fill on a support zone. So where's the next destination that it's potentially going to be? Well, you just look down. We can look here. We can just look left and say, well, this is the next potential zone that price is going to go. Let's do a pip count. Let's see, because this is already the wick that it wants to fill is going to be already around 7 pips. But the next true zone that it wants to go to is around, let's say, 13 pips, right? Now, what I mean by the wick, the liquidity wicks, what I mean by liquidity wicks is this. So we're already sell bias, like 100% we're sell bias. If we're gonna drop down to that 15-minute time frame, I'm gonna highlight this. We can expect a pullback, right? We can expect a small pullback. So what did that look like? The 1 hour time frame was telling us we were going down. You can see this area here was like the wick that it wanted to fill. You can see it comes down here. Price closed bearish here and then just launches up bullish, right? This is the pre-Nikki, and then after Nikki, it starts to come down. So we know that price was breaking this support zone on the 15-minute time frame. So if you're looking at 15-minute time frame, like my recommendation is, if you guys are not good at the 5-minute time frame yet, the lowest time frame you should be looking at for entries is the 15-minute, because we're gonna have, of course, lower. You can see we've got lower highs, we've got lower lows, right? We've got lower lows. This is actually another lower high right up to the top left. Let me clone this real quick, just so that you guys can see it. Right, it's just lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It's just making lower lows and lower highs, moving down into the bearish momentum. But when you're looking for your entries, if we're already sell bias, like higher time frame bias, either you're taking entries directly off of the hour time frame or 4 hour time frame, or you're dropping down to your 15-minute time frame and saying this is a potential area price can come first before going down, right? So if we look down here, this says 1800, so that's right when that new hour time frame opened. But then what did it do? It launched up in this 15-minute candle just to get ready to go back down. So when we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, understanding that the higher time frame is going down, right? So we knew that if it was going down, this was the next zone, and then of course the next zones are here, whatever. But what you're looking for is, if we're bearish, we're going to be looking for price making a lower high. We're going to be looking for price failing to break the recent high, right? So if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, understanding that even if I'm placing sells directly when that 4 hour count or that 1 hour candle opened, this is directly where that 1 hour candle opened, right? And this was the amount of pips that it had dropped in however much time. Understanding where your stop loss is going to be, because your stop loss is going to be really around the 15-minute recent high. Because if we're already sell bias, like, okay, the trend is bearish, we're going down, well, where's the potential range that price can come to before continually going down? That's what you have to keep in mind, because price is always going to bounce between support and resistance, and then it's going to confirm momentum, and it's going to go into your momentum, right? So what I'm looking for, if I was already sell bias on that 1 hour time frame, if I traded directly at this time, what I'm going to look for is, okay, we're going down. I'm either going to be already putting my sells directly as this candle has closed, because as we know, we had a 1 hour wick fill, right? Let me just get rid of that. Let me delete a few of these because it's getting a little noisy on the chart. I already saw that I had a 1 hour wick fill. I'm already 100% positive, if you guys were checking the currency meter too, that Japanese yen was going to be much stronger than the US dollar was. Now, I'll touch base on that a little bit later. But we're already confirmed sell bias. We've already broken support structure, and we've left the wick to go fill. So the next zone we're going to is there, and then there, and then there, whatever. Having those zones drawn up on that 4 hour time frame. So, not to get too repetitive, but you want to understand where that recent high is off that 15-minute time frame, because that's the potential area that price can come to. Once you have confirmed direction via higher time frame, you want to understand where your stop loss is going to be around the 15-minute time frame zones. So your stop loss area is going to be around this area, because you just look left, right? We can see we've got some wicks, we got some wicks, we got some wicks. It's going to be really beyond this area. And then, of course, you're going to base your risk to reward, okay? So even if you're entering sales directly as that candle opened, actually opened 745, 8 here. If you were to actually enter right as it opened, you wouldn't have suffered any drawdown, because price would have already dropped your 11 pips in 15 minutes, and you would have already been done trading for the day. I would have been done trading, because my profit target is 10 pips per position. However, if you're unsure, you can wait for more confirm. More confirm would be price making it. Look at this pullback it makes, right? Ends up creating another lower high, and then now we like another wick to fill, another rally. It's failing to reject. You can see how price is just creating a dynamic resistance off of this resistance zone, and it created a lower high, right? Another lower high. So we're just knowing that we're going to be trusting the process of the higher time frame momentum, and we're going to be basing our 15-minute time frame as our stop losses and our entries. So for me in particular, what I'm really looking for is already just the clear momentum. So I would have entered directly off of that 1 hour opening. I would have said, well, the 1 hour time frame is already telling us that we're going bearish. So I'm probably just going to start stacking up my sells right in there. And then what I'm going to wait for is looking at that 15-minute time frame, and then I'm going to go place my stop losses accordingly to the 15-minute resistance if we're sell confirm, right? That's my thought processing. That's what I do every day when I'm trading, is I'm using this 15-minute time frame really as my entry points, or most importantly, my stop loss points, because I want to know where that recent high is. Because if we're going to just blow through here, I mean, chances are the direction of the trend is wrong. But when you're already confirmed, like, hey, I'm already straight sell confirm, that's what I'm going to enter. I got a question that came in. Do you wait for candles to close before entering the trade? Absolutely. Always wait for candles to close. Always wait for candles to close. Whether if it's the 1 hour time frame, the 15-minute time frame, the 5-minute time frame, the 4 hour time frame, etc. You want to wait for those candles to close, because that's going to help you with your confirm. So as you can see, like here, for example, price launches down. It comes right back up. Now, what do we have? It's price comes down. Now it leaves another wick to fill. It's just rallying again. It's rallying again. By now, you already have pretty clear confirm that, okay, we are going down. Like we're going down just by seeing the way that price is rallying. But understanding that your higher time frame is your main concern with understanding how to enter in the market. You have to know where your higher time frame is. If you don't know how to master the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, and the daily time frame, those are my 3 favorite time frames. You need to start spending more time with those higher time frames. You have to, because you could base your whole trading plan around the beginning and the ending of a 4 hour candle or the 1 hour candle, etc. Because we know that in every 4 hour candle, there's 1 hour candles in between there. So if we're looking just at the 4 hour candle, we know that every one of these candles is 4 hours. So what does that look like? In this 4 hours, we're going to have 4 1 hour time frame candles. So in the time that we're looking for confirm, the 1 hour time frame is going to give you confirm within that 4 hour candle. So you can just continue the momentum by seeing how those 1 hour candles finish off, how the 4 hour candles finish off, etc. So let's go down to the next question. We've already touched a little bit on lower time frame entries, right? Like I'm looking for lower highs. If we're bearish, I'm looking for price to fail to break the recent resistance, knowing that I'm already higher time frame confirm bearish. If I already know I'm higher time frame confirm bearish, I'm looking for price to make a lower high on the 15-minute time frame, or I'm already looking for clear momentum, because sometimes price is not going to make like a lower high. right? Like if like it might okay, we break the structure here and then it breaks down again. If you're waiting for another lower high after we've already broken structure, you're waiting too long. You just need to trust the process that we're sell confirm and we're going down, right? Because like if you were to see here on the 15-minute time frame, we broke support. So where are we going to? Well, we're going to the next support zones. That's where your profit target is, right? That was 13 pips, 24 pips, goes almost 50 pips in a matter of a few hours. So let's look for these next questions here. Trading sessions. What do we have? So we kind of touched on lower time frame entries. I like candle confirmations. Let's go with candle confirmations. So candle confirmations is extremely important when trading in the Forex market. What I'm looking for with candle confirmations is I'm looking for price to break a structure. I'm looking for price to really break a structure if I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. So if I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame and I'm saying it's a little noisy on this chart. Okay, let's look here for example. So here's 1400. This is right when the Asian market opens. The Asian market opens at 2 p.m. my time. Well, 3 p.m. because the time shift. But I still trade it based off the 4-hour candles. So you can see that now we have a whole wick to fill. If you were not comfortable entering in between the times of 2 p.m. till 6 p.m., you can always wait for the new 4-hour candle, right? So what did this new 4-hour candle do? It closed below structure. You see how we closed below our structure? So this is where we know that we're just going to follow that higher time frame momentum. So on this 4-hour time frame, understanding that the new daily is going to open, the new daily opens in the afternoon. That's when the daily is most effective, in my opinion, is when the new daily candle opens. So you can see how the previous daily candle closed, moving forward into the new daily. So we've got this 4-hour candle. We leave a huge wick to fill. But if you are not comfortable, just wait until the next 4-hour candle. What happened on this 4-hour candle? We closed way below support, right? You guys can clearly see that. I don't want to put anything up on the screen just because it's going to look like this and then everybody's going to get confused. But you can clearly see, if you see where my cursor is, this 4-hour candle closed below support. So where is it going to? Well, we look left. We have this whole range that we can go to, right? This would be the most reasonable range that we're going to first head to because we see wick area, wick area, wick area, wick area, wick area. You see all these wicks and candles are closing at this time. So you can see this becomes a very, very strong support. Now it's support turn resistance. However, waiting for those candles to close, waiting for the momentum, as you guys can see with the 4-hour time frame, eventually, every single day, eventually price is going to show confirmed direction. Sometimes you're going to have from the new 4-hour candle at 6 a.m., you might have consolidation all the way till 10 a.m. And then from 10 a.m. till 2 in the afternoon, you might have another 4 hours of consolidation. So you better believe by Asian Open, you're going to have confirmed direction. Here's a great example. Here's 2 to 6 a.m. Here's 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. Look what happened. This is from 10 a.m. till Asian Open, right? Look, you see how we have the confirm at least by that next 4-hour time frame, right? This is where your confirm ends up being. It ends up being understanding that in this time frame, if you would have looked at the 1-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame was making bullish 1-hour candles, just leading up to a push. So the same thing applies to yesterday. If you're waiting for higher time frame confirm, we've got, if you weren't comfortable entering the market here for a day for this wick fill, this would have been like a daily wick fill, because this is right when the Asian market was opening. Wait till afterwards. There's always a time to trade throughout the day, right? We broke structure, so now we're going to continue into momentum. So that's 4-hour time frame candle confirmations. If I'm going to be looking at, let me go to Euro USD because that's what I traded this morning. If I'm looking for candle confirmations for 2-1 confirms or 2-2 confirms, for example, Oh, my stuff is up. I made another YouTube video. I made another YouTube video today for how I traded too. If you guys wanted to go check that out, it's about 30 minutes long. It's pretty detailed. It's very nice, right? All right, so let's look here. Oh, this is the 4-hour. Oops, I need to go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so actually, let me start with the 4-hour because this is what my YouTube video was about as well. So we've got look at how this 4-hour candle closed. This one right here. This is from 2 to 6 a.m. Okay, the 4-hour candle closed so bearish. It's so strong, right? It's so strong. I'm already sell confirm. Already sell confirm. Okay, so we hop down to that lower time frame, and we see what noise is going on. All right, so yada 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 5. Okay, here is right by 6 a.m. and actually right at 6 a.m. if I were, because I did not trade at 6 a.m. directly, I actually slept in this morning. So the nice thing about having a relaxed trading plan is I know that in that 4 hours, we've got an extra hour that opens up, right? So in 4-hour candles, we have 4-hour candles. You're going to have confirmation sooner or later. So first thing in the morning, because you guys know I like to catch my 6 a.m. push. Legitimately, my profits, if I'm trading the 6 a.m. push, are literally within the 2 15-minute candles. I'm in and out and I'm done for the day. I like to trade the beginning of a 4-hour candle most because usually price has already left us off with a great show to let us know the direction at where we're going, okay? So even at first thing in the morning, you can see price ends up making another lower high by 5:30. It launches down. Price still goes down over my profit target range of 10 pips. Already 12 pips per position. I could have been in and out and done for the day, but I didn't. I woke up a little bit later. I woke up around 7. So I get up around 7 and I'm able to assess the market. I'm already higher time frame bias that we're going down, okay? I'm already telling myself we're going down. Price has been making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? It's just failing to break. We drop again and we make another, ends up being another lower high. But this is where my 2-1 confirm comes in, right? Like I'm always posting about 2-1 confirms and I get so many questions throughout the week like how do you spot them? To be honest, the way I spot my 2-1 confirms is just how I trade. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to trade that way. I don't know. But if you work on it and you can train your eyes, potentially you guys can see the same thing I see. But this is what I'm looking for. So I'm already higher time frame bias that we are going bearish, right? That 4-hour time frame already told us we were going bearish. In the first hour of the 4-hour candle, we actually had a nice bullish push. Ended up making another lower high. The reason why I put higher high is because this is where 2-1 confirm comes in. So we can see price is now pulling down, right? Price is now pulling down. And then when I started paying, I said, okay, I'm looking for my entry now. This was my entry points. My entry points were directly here. What I'm looking for is if I have a strong rejection, like off of a resistance zone like this, for an example, and I'm already higher time frame bearish momentum, what I'm looking for is for a small pullback. I'm looking for a very small pullback, especially if it's on a 15-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frames will also make really nice ones, but there's more noise. So as we can see, we have a nice bearish push down, right? And then here's my small pullback. This is my small 15-minute pullback. The higher time frame is already telling me I'm going down. I'm taking action. I'm trusting the process. What's the next step that I do? I look at currency meter. The currency meter, the Japanese yen was significantly stronger this morning than the euro. What does that mean? I mean, the US dollar was significantly stronger than the euro was. What does that mean? It means that we're going to be pushing in the direction that the US dollar is stronger. The US dollar was stronger than the euro, so we were going down. So my profit target is 10 pips. You can see I well exceeded my profit target, and I actually bagged 25 pips each per position, around 25 pips each per position. I closed as soon as this 15-minute candle closed. I was out of my positions. I bagged 300 pips. I'm done for the day, right? I did the same thing earlier on in the week. I got 400 pips. I'm just done. I usually, when I catch big moves, I'm usually just done. I don't need to trade the rest of the week. I've grown my account up. I don't need to trade every single day of the week. But to share more knowledge with you guys, another question was 2-1 confirms. This is what a 2-1 confirm looks like. So we're already sell bias. We have a little bit of a rejection, and now we have the first green pullback. So we've got the higher high, the lower low, the lower high. This becomes 1, 2, 1. That's 2-1 confirm that we're going down. The 4-hour time frame was already extremely bearish. So this whole bullish pullback that happened in the morning, I slept through it. So I didn't even experience the trickery of, oh, is it going up or is it going down? I even avoided the patience that you guys need to be practicing. I got lucky. Let's just say that. I woke up at the right time. That's all it was. I woke up at the right time and I was able to see the clear direction and momentum of the trend. And then this is where your next zone would have been. And this is exactly where price comes and it touches, and I'm out and I'm done for the day. I've got a couple more questions in here. So you base your trading decision based on the opening and closing of 4-hour candles? Absolutely. Absolutely. My trading is literally planned around a 4-hour time frame candle or a 1-hour time frame candle. Because if you don't have clear momentum, then why are you going to trade? If you don't really know the direction of the trend off the higher time frame, there's absolutely no reason why you should be entering a trade. You should be waiting. Now, I know traders that are extremely good traders, better than me. They're so good that they can sit there for hours trading support and resistance. I don't have the patience for that. I would blow my account every time if I did that. I know traders that literally in consolidation times will trade resistance to support, resistance to support, resistance to support. I've seen traders take $30 to $500,000 in a few weeks trading like that. Unbelievable results. Unbelievable results. I can't do that. I'm not skilled enough personally to just be able to trade in consolidation. I like clear momentum. I lost enough money in the Forex market to where I like to wait for confirm. I just like to trade off higher time frame momentum. That way, you can never question yourself. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. I made a mistake. I entered too early. My stop loss get hit. You know, I took a loss. It's not a big deal. Losses are part of the game. If anybody tells you they never take any losses, that's stupid. It's stupid if anybody tells you that they never take losses. Losses is absolutely part of the game. So, to answer that other question, I 100% base my trading plan around 4-hour time frame openings, 1-hour time frame openings, and I wait for those 4 hours or 1-hour time frame to close. So, moving forward with today, this was my confirm. I had 2-1 confirm here. I'm just going to draw it out a little bit with, I'm going to show you. So I've got like one. Let me just move this guy here. This is the way it looks. It goes 1, 2. Let me move this over here too. Let me move this as well. We've got 1, 2, and then we've got another 1. So that becomes 2-1 confirm that we are going to continue in this direction. And then the next one would be 2. And then if price pulls up here and fails to break and we just continue in momentum, that would have been 2-2 confirmed that we're just going to continue dropping significantly. But it's Friday. The market's going to close soon. So typically we're going to see a nice push in the day, maybe early in the morning. And then you're just going to have consolidation for the rest of the day. And then you're going to have Sunday open, right? The market opens Sunday. So moving forward, let me go back to USD Jappy, and I want to see what those other questions were, so I can answer these other questions as well. And I have a question for you guys, personally. I have. Oh, I got a another question. Do I offer mentorship? Yes, I do have a private mentorship. Um, I have a private mentorship. I trade with my students daily. It's a lot of fun. But moving forward, where did my questions go? Here they go. Okay, so we've touched on 2-1, 2-2 a little bit. I'll go back to 2-2. I want to touch on it a little bit more with 2-1 confirms and 2-2 confirms. A little bit. Let me see what these other questions say. If you look right, there's 2-1. If you look right, there is other 2-1 confirm. Oh, that was. I'm sorry. I don't have the other chart up. I'll go back to it in a second. Momentum shifts. I want to cover. Let's cover the momentum shifts too. Um, but the momentum, I think I pretty much covered the momentum shifts. It's literally the beginning and the opening of 4-hour candles, 1-hour candles. That's what you're looking for, right? So I'm gonna delete everything for 1 second. I'm sorry if you guys were looking at these other questions. I memorized them so we can go back and touch on them. But if we're looking for momentum, what we're looking for in momentum is for price to break a structure. That's what I'm looking for. So for an example, let's look at this nice consolidation box, right? We got huge consolidation for a few hours here. Literally, this must have been like 1 or 2 4-hour candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's already one. Yeah, it's got to be at least 4.5 hours of just pure confirmation of just consolidation, right? Now, I actually took this trade. I took this trade right here. No, I didn't. Excuse me, I did not take this trade, but I was on a one-on-one with one of my students, and we mentally kind of took it together. Or did I take it? I don't remember. Anyways, we've got, what time was this? Yeah, right before 10 a.m. Okay, so 10 o'clock. We know that the new 4-hour candle is opening, right? We know the 4-hour candle is opening. We know there's going to be a volatility push potentially. So what do we look for? What do we look for? I've got a higher high. I've got a lower low. Right? This actually is a higher low. However, when I'm looking for that 2-1 confirm, right? I'm looking for the rejection, like we've got a rejection of a resistance. We already have that higher time frame bias that we're going bearish. And then I'm looking for those small pullbacks, right? So what do I have? I have small pullback. It's just rejecting to go. By right here, by 9:45, you should have already been entered into the market if you're trading around the beginning of 4-hour candles, right? So as soon as price closes like this, you can see that we're just going down from there. Like there's no buying power. It was all selling power. And what did price end up doing? It ended up making a lower high for a 2-1 confirm here. Higher high, lower low, lower high, 1, 2, 1 to go down, right? Let's look at profit target. Well exceeded my profit target, right? 17 pips per position. However, if you were to have like stop loss and profit, for an example, right? So let's say I've got my stop loss and profit right here, and you walk away from the chart. Well, that's okay. Now, if you didn't know where price was going, by the time you see something like this, you better believe we're going up. We've rejected a major, look at this major zone. This is a major zone. This was a major 4-hour zone, right? Major zone. Look at how price is confirmed. Look at the direction that price is confirmed by 12. Because 12 is here. Usually around 12. It's pretty much every 1-hour candle, guys. Like, if you just trade at the beginning of every 1-hour candle and you just wait for like a 1-hour candle to open and close, sometimes we have like a 1-hour candle that will come all the way bearish in like 2 15-minute candles. And then the next 2 15-minute candles, it will go bullish. And then if you take a look back and you look at the hour candle, it's going to leave like a wick to go fill. So pretty much by the next hour candle, we're just going to go down and fulfill the momentum. But if we were going to look at this, for an example, look at how clear the momentum was. I actually got off this was my one-on-one session with my student, one of my students, Hugo. And if you guys watched the video, this I actually covered all of this move right here. However, I never anticipated for this to happen because I was already off the charts. But if I was on the charts and I would have seen this, like, you better believe that you're entering buys. You better believe it. Because then you're going to go from zone to the next zones up on the higher time frames, right? So I'm looking for a breach of structure. I'm looking for a rejection of structure. We've rejected our support incredibly, like incredible rejection, right? Launch for 30 minutes, and look at how we closed. So we closed pretty much on this resistance, but the momentum is there. The momentum is there. You want to see how many pips it goes up? A lot. So let's look for our 10 pip profit target. Perfect. Within 15 minutes, you already had your 10 pip profit target. But look at where the direction went. All the way up till almost London Open. 60 pips. Look at the top of the screen, 60 pips. That's incredible. That's by following the higher time frame momentum. So let's look at that higher time frame momentum and let's see what it looked like. Actually, I covered it. We talked about it. It was at 10 a.m. right here, right? This was it. So in my webinar that I had with my one-on-one session that I had with Hugo, I was actually talking about if price is going to continue bearish, we're going to be coming down here, right? I didn't even touch on the fact that what's really going on, the bigger picture, because the bigger picture was, what did we have? Lower low. Now we have a new higher high. And just like the 15-minute time frame, right? This is our new higher high for recent price time. And then what did price end up doing? It makes it a higher low, right? Ends up making a higher low. This was the trade. I actually did take this trade. My trade was the 4-hour wick fill. I traded this wick fill coming down. But then look what price ended up doing, the real move. Ends up going up 60 pips, right? I don't know how much experience you guys have with buy stops and sell stops. But the most money I ever make really in Forex trading is placing buy stops and sell stops. Because if you look at like a 4-hour time frame, for example, like if we are bullish, placing buy stops, if you look at the recent wick range area, you place buy stops around the highest wick point range, and then make sure you're in profit target range of the next zones. So we see like here's a zone. That would have been a pretty nice zone. But then where did it end up going to? Look left. We got another zone here, right? Let's look at what the profit target range was. So if you're looking at the market, because most people, they don't like to wait for the consolidation. So many very successful Forex mentors and traders that I trade with and talk to on a weekly basis, they, for the most part, they just place buy stops or sell stops. So buy stop is going to be a prediction that if price comes and hits my buy stop, I'm already going to be automatically put into the trade. And then you just put your take profit and your stop loss, right? So if I'm going 10 pips, for example, like here. So I look here and I place my buy stop. If we're really bullish, buy stop. I've made tons of money with buy stops. Just going to sleep for like London. You're like, I don't want to trade London, but I can really see that we're going to have a bullish push throughout London. I don't want to stay up. I'm just going to place my predictions in the market. I'm going to go to sleep. I got a question from Ollie. Yes, candle timing is absolutely important. That's why I like to trade at the beginning and the ends of really 4-hour candles or 1-hour candles, the beginning or the end. So we place buy stops here for an example, because price ends up making what? A 2-1 confirm on the higher time frame. So if we have a 2-1 confirm on the higher time frame, you know that we're going to have a nice push, right? So if we're placing buy stops for an example, we're placing buy stops, and then if our buy stops are here, you're going to be going down to that understanding where you're going to place your stop loss. Because if you're going to place a prediction in the market that, hey, I'm placing a buy stop, but I'm going to walk away from the computer, you have to have a stop loss. Because what happens if news hits or something hits, a global news, anything, and price comes up and just tanks? Well, your whole account could go gone in a matter of seconds. So you definitely want to make sure that you always have your stop losses accordingly if you are placing a prediction in the market, like buy stops or sell stops, right? So going back to my example, if we are buy confirm, which it ended up confirming that we are buy confirm, right? Buy stops here, you place your let me get rid of this guy here. It's getting a little confusing. And let me open up just a new one, right? Our buy stops, we enter in how many pips we want, right? You can't just choose like, hey, I want 30 pips. Like, you can't just choose that. That's how many pips I want. But if you know where the next zone is, you can say, well, if the next zone or wick range, if we look left, you can see this wick range over here, a wick that wants to get filled. You can say, well, I think price is going to come up to here, right? So you can put your orders pending, your pending orders, your buy stop in the market with your stop loss and your take profit. You can just be sleeping and all your money gets hit. You didn't even have to do anything. You didn't have to manually enter into the market like at a specific time, right? So like if I'm trading the 15-minute time frame and I'm looking for a 2-1 confirm, of course I'm entering my sells or my buys and I'm closing fairly quickly because I'm just scalping or hyper scalping. But if you're looking at the big picture, you can scalp the swing, right? So price is making a higher low. We rejected the support again. So where are we going? We're going straight up. And we had that confirm by that 15 minutes, right? This 15-minute time frame, look at what happened. We had the confirm that we are going up, right? So if we were to look at the 15-minute time frame, like our buy stops right above those wicks and potential sell stops below the bottom of wicks, right? Potentially, but keep in mind spread. If your brokerage has higher spread, always keep in mind spread, because you don't want to put like a buy or a sell stop in the market and then your spread hits it and then it just goes all the way and hits your stop loss and then you're out of the market. You know, that sucks. That's happened to me many times. So you always want to keep in mind spread. Spread is extremely important. Candle time is important. This is eye-opening. Great. I'm so glad that this is eye-opening. You know, part of the reason why I chose to do mentorship is because I had such a rough time. I had such a rough time trying to understand how the market works that I said there's so many millions of other people that have no idea how the market works. So, and there's so many students to mentors out there that they're just not helping. Like they're literally just not helping the way that they should. And I don't like that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take on the responsibility and I'm going to start trying to help other people out as well. And I have seen tremendous results from students that I have. I got another question. How do you decipher market bias? Let me write that question up. I like that question. I like that question. Okay. Let's delete everything again. Let's look at, you know what? To answer this question, I want somebody to put a pair that they like to trade. I like somebody to put a pair that they like to trade. Any pair. I'll look at any pair. The first one that I see, I'm going to go with. Okay, Euro Jappy. First one. Actually, you know, I like Euro Jappy. I've been getting a lot of, on my webinars, people are asking about Euro Jappy. People really like Euro Jappy. And it pays out. It pays out pretty nice. So the question was, how do you decipher market bias? Right? The way that I'm deciphering market bias, let's look at real time. It's just going to be higher time frame. That's it. That's how I'm deciphering market bias, right? So, an example is this. We've got the highest point possible, right? You know, first of all, I'm going to start with my zone drawing up. I'm going to draw all my zones up. Okay. We're going to see here. We're going to look left. We're going to draw up our zone. We're going to look left, right? We can see that price comes up and touches. It's been strong here, right? What does it do? It touches there again. It touches there again. It touches there again, right? That's a nice zone. And then potential, I'm going to go to the 4-hour now because there's going to be nicer zones within this on the 4-hour, right? Because this was major consolidation. So we're going to look left. We're going to say, okay, that's a nice zone, right? And then if we're going to go to the hour time frame, we might also have other minor zones, right? But this is pretty good for now. So this is how I'm deciphering my higher time frame, or how I'm deciphering your question of market bias. So for the most part, when I'm trading, I'm in and out of the market. So I don't really care what happens afterwards. The only thing that I care about is what's happened before. Because like I said, I'm trading at the beginning of 4-hour candles, 1-hour candles, etc. Right? So here's a very good example. So this is 2200. So this is after London Open. I'm asleep at that time, but I know there's a lot of you that are in other countries that London is early in the morning, like if you're in Europe, of course, like London Open is in the morning. Africa and those different parts of the world, your London Open is more in the daytime. So London Open is the most volatile real session in the Forex market. The most money gets pumped through on London. So if you're on that part of the world, like it's pretty good for you that you get to actually trade London session. I'm perfectly fine with New York session and Asian session. And then if I want to trade London Open, that's completely fine. But this is what I'm looking for. Okay, boom. Look what this happened at 6 a.m. I didn't trade this. Obviously, I don't trade Euro Jappy. That was news 100%. Because price is never going to just make like these huge drops like this without it being news. Right? And then what do we have? We got now a lower high. So if I woke up in the morning, this is what's going through my mind. This is what's going through my mind. And I'm going to do a little trick for you guys. Something really cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And just bear with me for 1 second. It's going to be a little confusing, but just bear with me. I'm going to make this white. That way I'm going to do a multiple of them, and I'm going to try to cover this up as much as possible. I'm going to cover this up as much as possible. The problem is we have just bear with me. I know this sounds funny, but I do this a lot with students. Just to get a nice reflection of like what the market did. Too bad there's no way of me of like just erasing. Right? So let's try to use our imagination here for 1 second, and let's say that I'm gonna uncover it for 1 second, and if we look left, if you guys look left right here, you can see a large wick that we want to go fill, right? Okay. Nothing happened yet though. Nothing's happened yet. Okay? But if I'm trading at the beginning of a 4-hour candle, this is the poll that I gave you guys in the beginning of the webinar. It was that poll. If you guys were there, then let me see if I can share it right now. I want to see if I can share it so you guys can see it. Oh, you guys maybe not. Can you guys see the screen still or no? Anything on the screen? Or can you see the poll? I just want to know if you guys can see the poll. Because this is where wick fills come in. This is where wick fills come in. Okay, attendees are now viewing poll results, so you guys can see it, right? So this was my poll. When are wicks filled? When the new 4-hour candle opens. Although this is correct, this is not gonna work unless price is in momentum, right? I don't know what wick fill means. That's okay. But over half of you understood that it's when price is in momentum, okay? So let me go ahead and I'm gonna hide these results now, and I'm gonna go back to the webinar. So we can see early in the morning, I'm gonna unblock it again. If we look left, we've got a huge wick to go fill, correct? Huge wick to go fill. Okay, so if we're following the momentum, this is my market bias. My market bias is I have a wick to go fill. Price has just made a lower high on a 4-hour time frame. It's had another rejection and a wick to fill. This is why you wait for candles to close. Because like I said earlier, sometimes a candle will come all the way down here. But then what it's going to do? It comes all the way back up. And then look what the next 4-hour candle leaves us off with. It leaves us off with just a continuation of momentum. I'm trying to unblock it. I'm struggling here. Okay, there we go. A continuation of momentum. You can see how we just fulfilled the wick fill. You see how we fulfilled the wick fill? But look at the destination. You guys got to understand that, well, where's the actual destination? Because when I'm trading, what I'm looking for is 10 pips. I want 10 pips because I stack entries. I don't usually only put one entry. I put multiple entries. That's why I only trade maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week. Or I trade more. It just depends on the week. But if you just practice with your patience, right? If you just practice with patience, this is what's going to help you guys out a lot, is these higher time frames. So I'm just trying to delete as much of these as I can just to move forward again. Okay, perfect. So if we already knew that this was my higher time frame market bias, is that the 4-hour time frame has a major wick to fill. Let's look at the 1 hour just to see how the 1 hour looked. And then I'll show you how I guess it's just here, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I'm not trading at this time early in the morning. But you can see that you see, look at this candle for an example at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't trade at this time, but you can see at this time, like, look where price ends up leaving us off with, right? It ends up completely breaking support, right? Look at our support. Ooh, it's white again. Look at our support zone. We look left. This is the most recent support on the 1 hour time frame because the candle's closed right here, and it was pretty strong. But look at where the candle closed. So where do you think you're gonna go? If your trading plan is based around the beginning of 1 hour time frames, 4 hour time frames, etc., where else do you think price is gonna go? It's already broken support. So where's the next support at? Well, the next support is literally not till here, right? And so what's the profit target range? Let's do profit target range. Holy crap, 20 pips? If you just wait for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, and you just wait for price to reveal the momentum that it's going, this is why I work so hard with my students, guys, because like you just have to practice a little bit of patience. For the first 8 months to 1 year of my Forex trading, I had absolutely zero patience, and I practiced a bad strategy the whole time. I joined a crappy mentorship under a crappy mentor that traded, and his screen was like super crazy, with all kinds of different things up on the board, like all these crazy things. Like you look at the chart and you're like, what the freak is going on? Like, I don't know how to read this. So what did I do over the years? I removed everything. I learned what price action was. Price action does not rely on your indicators. Your indicators are an estimated area of where price was so many days ago. So these indicators are past news. They can help you with confluence. They can help you with continuation of trend. However, they're old news. What's new news? New news is current time. It's what we call price action. Price action. This is the only profitable way to becoming a consistent trader in the Forex markets. This is people can tell me this is speculative because I'm also a firm believer in, if you guys has watched my previous webinars or my one-on-ones with students that I post on YouTube, that there are many ways to get to 10, right? A mentor of mine said this, and it really stuck on my heart. It really stuck on my heart, right? So there's many ways to get to 10. What does that look like? That looks like 1 plus 9 equals 10, right? What does that look like? 5 times 2 equals 10, right? So what this means is that there's different strategies out there, right? There's different strategies. See, some people might like their screen looking like this. Like some people might like a ton of EMAs on their screen. Some people have trained their eyes to understand the EMAs a little bit better. Because if you look back in time, for an example, like look, all 3 of these EMAs crossed and we continued in the uptrend, right? If we look back, they cross again and they continue in the downtrend. So you can use EMAs, if you use the right EMAs, for momentum trading and continuation of trend. However, if you want to become a consistent and profitable trader, in my opinion, drop all EMAs and start learning how to read charts naked, and start learning how to see that once price breaks a structure, you're going to continue in momentum. Once price fails to break a structure, you're going to continue in momentum, right? This is my philosophy with trading, is price action is the only profitable way to become a consistent trader in the Forex markets, because you're understanding your higher time frame momentum. You got to understand your higher time frame momentum, right? This is why I stand by trading around the beginning of 4 hour and 1 hour candles, because then you can see what price is already done. You can see what price is already done, and you can just get in safely. You can get in extremely safe. Let me see if we got more questions. Is there a script for MetaTrader 4 that helps to place multiple trades if you don't want to do that manually? Wally, to be honest with you, I hear over and over that there is, but I have never used it. So the main script that I use is the close all script, where I just close all my entries at one time. Um, but I think if you look in MetaTrader 4, maybe I'll make a YouTube video on that. Like I'll look through MetaTrader 4, and I'll see if there is a script to open up tons of entries. But like I said, I don't do it that way. I just keep clicking the dang button, just ding, 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 up or down, whatever, for buy or sell. Just to answer your question. I don't know, but I'll definitely I'll get back to you on Facebook or something, bro, and I'll do some more research. But a couple of students of mine actually told me that you can do it. I've just never put the time into doing it. So maybe I can do that in the future for like full margin accounts. I'm getting a couple other questions. Couple other questions. Give me 1 second. I'm just replying to someone. People are just kind of asking like how I do like my mentorship and stuff. So moving forward, um, moving forward, what are some other questions that you guys have? So every time I do a webinar, I'm pretty much going to be going over very similar things every single time, right? Because these are the things that are making me a ton of money in the Forex markets. So why would I not want to share with you guys how to make a ton of money in the Forex markets? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why there's so many like groups out there, like including like iMarkets Live. Like if anybody has experience with iMarkets Live, I hate them. Like literally, I literally dislike IML to the max. Like 100%. They're completely bogus and crap. 100% crap. Like they want you to recruit people. They want you to do all that crap. The only thing that there is in Forex is there's price action. There's support and there's resistance. That's it. Once price breaks a structure, it continues in momentum. That's it. That's all we're looking for. Ollie's asking, so you take the same setup every day? Every single day. I look for the exact same thing, and it's just the way that the market moves. This is what I love about Forex so much, you guys. This is what I love about Forex so much. Let me just make this really clear. Let me make this really clear down here. Forex. Like, what is Forex? The foreign exchange market, right? Between 4 to 7. Now, these numbers are different according to different like websites you look at. $1 trillion are traded daily, right? So it doesn't matter. Let me repeat, it doesn't matter if you have $5,000 leverage, $10,000, or 10. I'm going to go up to billion. I've never seen that, but even if you have up to $10 billion leveraging on a single trade, you will never change the direction of the market. You will never change the direction the Forex market is going. So if you're going to focus on your higher time frame biases, if you're going to focus on your higher time frame momentum, and just having patience. A big thing that I'm working on with my group right now is just having a team trading plan where everybody's just going to be trading basically the same time. We're all trading the same time. We're looking for the same thing, and everybody is just making all the money. You, me, and my students, the other mentorships out there and their students, we are not changing the direction of trend. So stop rushing your trades. Just stop rushing your trades. Just understand that if price is going to break a structure, right? We failed to break resistance and we're gonna break a structure. Understanding where the next zones are for your profit target, catching one setup and move a day, and you're done. You don't need to trade all the sessions. Stick to one session, stick to one pair if you can't handle multiple pairs, And that's it. I primarily trade USD Jappy. That's my favorite pair. My favorite pair is USD Jappy because it has a gold correlation. They work negatively. So negative USD Jappy and XAU USD, aka gold, have a negative correlation. Did I spell correlation wrong? How do you spell correlation? They have a negative correlation, which means if UJ bullish or up, then XAU USD bearish or down, right? So let's take a look. Let's take a look because I like to trade those early morning pushes. So let me go over to I'm on the wrong chart, huh? I'm on Euro Jappy. Let's go to USD Jappy and I'm just gonna pull out a specific time. Okay, perfect. So this is the 18th, right in time for the 6 a.m. push. This is why I trade the 6 a.m. push because the 6 a.m. push has huge volatility. Look, it drops tremendously in 1 hour, like right here. It drops crazy in 1 hour. Okay, so this was the 18th at 6 a.m. Let's go to gold. So, wasn't as significant. It took a little bit longer. However, we still had the bullish push on gold, but it set up for the rest of the day. So, it ended up making a pullback, but still ends up going bullish because they have a negative correlation. So, if gold is going down, USD Jappy is going up. If USD Jappy is going down, then gold is going up. So they work negatively. So it really helps with confirmation. Like if you have gold breaking a structure, like for example, like if you see something like this where gold just like launches straight down, well, that probably would have been a good confirmation. What hour was this? This was at 11 p.m. on the 17th. Let me go look at USD Jappy. USD Jappy was probably launching at that time. Right here. Same exact thing. You see the same exact move? So gold was going down. So USD Jappy was going straight up. They have a complete negative correlation. So this was actually the time that we were talking about. This was the trades. We had just gone over this trade already. This was that 4 hour time frame launch, right? See, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hours in that time frame. This was it. But you notice that the gold went down, so the USD Jappy went up. That's why USD Jappy is my favorite pair because you just can use gold as confirm, and you can use USD Jappy as confirm for gold. So you can take sales on UJ and buys on gold at the same time, knowing that they're hopefully going in that direction. Got another question. What does confluence mean? Confluence, that's a great question. My interpretation of confluence is continuation of trend. That's my interpretation and definition of confluence, right? So if we have, for an example, let's just go back to this area again. Support and resistance, right? We've got a resistance zone or support zone. We have price breaking the resistance. Well, all the buying power is there. So the continuation, the confluence, is just being able to enter the market continually moving in confluence, right? So if you look here, like this hour completely destroyed resistance, and it had not gone to its next destination yet. So even entering right off of this 1 hour candle from 12 to 1, you can see like price goes up 13 pips. So being able to enter into the market, Dante, with a continuation of momentum is confluence. You're just following the momentum, right? Like this is another very great example of an early morning push. Here's your support. Here is a pretty good 1 hour resistance area. Is it gonna let me? I need to delete these guys here or something. Okay, right? Support zone, resistance zone, right? Continuation of momentum looks like this for a confluence. We have look at early morning. We already know price is gonna make a push. The 1 hour time frame actually made a 2-1 confirm. So we have higher high. We have the lowest low. It's actually a higher low, but if it's 2-1, this is my lower low, and then this is my lower high. Okay, this is early in the morning, so I'm sleeping. I don't know what price is doing at this time, but I'm going to be waking up at 5:30. So I'm waking up in this hour candle. This hour candle closed right here. We're just going to be continuing in confluence. The higher time frames are telling us we're going down. We know that the new 4-hour candle is going to make a push. So we're just going to follow the momentum, and we're just going to be able to enter the market off of continuation of trend, which is confluence. That's my interpretation and how I trade in the foreign exchange market is off of confluence. I just wait for momentum around those higher time frames. I'm going to put another poll up. Some people are beginning to leave, it looks like. I'm just going to do one more quick poll, and I want to get your guys's. I want to see what you guys say. Do you have a trading plan? I want to see how many people have trading plans, how many people are following trading plans, or if you don't even know what a trading plan is and you need help, just answer truthfully. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I'm getting great results back. Great results back. A lot of you say no, I need help, which is perfect. That is, it's like when you have when you have like an addiction or a problem, right? Like, what's the most important step? Is admitting that you need help, right? Admitting that, hey, I need some help. It's the same thing with trading plan. If you're not making profits if you're not making consistent profits in the foreign exchange market, it's because you need a trading plan. So those of you who said that I don't know what a trading plan is, a trading plan looks like this. I'm going to close the poll now. This is what a trading plan looks like. This is what a trading plan looks like. You know what? I'm just going to go to let me see if I can. Let me see. Okay, just a quick definition. I'm just going to do a quick definition, and then I'll pop up my trading plan. Is this. Quick definition is this. Regarding trading plan. Would you go to work not knowing how much money you're going to make? Most would answer no, right? Because if you sign papers saying that I'm going to work for this company, this corporation, this partnership, whatever, you're signing off that this is how much money I'm going to make hourly, or this is how much money I'm going to make hourly plus commission, or this is how much money I'm going to make salary, right? So without a trading plan, it's not just about the money that you're going to make. It's about looking for the same setup, the same thing that works for you daily. Chances are you're not going to get up and go to work without already having an idea of what you're going to do. So if you just get up and say, you know what, I'm just going to go and trade in the foreign exchange market without a trading plan, well, congratulations, you've already lost. I'll see you in 2 years and you're still going to be losing. That's the way it works. Because without a trading plan, you're not understanding your risk to reward. You're not understanding what you're looking for. You're not understanding when to pull out and when to not be greedy, right? Where to set your stop losses and your take profits. You have to have a trading plan. If you do not have a trading plan, do not trade. Unless you're just learning like on demo account, like with your mentor, and you're just kind of getting your feet wet. Like, it's okay not to have like a good trading plan yet, because you don't know what your eyes see yet. You don't know what's comfortable for you. But down the road, if you're still like 2 years in the game and you haven't been making good profits, but you know so much about Forex, it's just because of your trading plan. All right. So an example is going to be like this. Let me see if I can pull. Let me see if I can pull my trading plan up. Okay. This is like a rough draft. This is in detail, but not as much in detail. But this is what I share with my students, and this is what how I trade. This is what I look for, right? So what I encourage my students to do when they are making their trading plans is to use mine like as a rough draft. To use my trading plan as a rough draft as to why they trade. So for me, I say, well, why am I trading? I say I trade for the future. I trade for myself and my family. Trading is my day job. I work for myself, but the charts provide my family with food and the proper amount for protection and shelter, right? This is like my why. Like you guys got to have a why. Like why do you work? Why do you wake up? Why do you do what you do? Right? Why do you even do what you do? Are you unhappy? Change it, right? I will not be greedy. Profit is profit. Close in profits. Put stop loss in profits. And always have a stop loss no matter what, right? So a lot of this week, like I didn't really follow my trading plan. I didn't put a stop loss at all, but I took home my profits. So an example of how my trading plan started was my daily goal is 4 entries at 5 to 10 pips each. Close 2 entries at 10 pips each with stop loss and profits at 10 if the trend goes in my favor. So if it continuously keeps dropping in my favor or going up in my favor, just adjusting my stop loss higher or lower, right? Check daily and 4-hour time frame at 6 a.m. before the new 4-hour candle opens. Identify direction of trend. Identify major support and resistance zones. We've been going over that, and we've been going over that throughout this whole webinar, right? Once the trend is identified, switch to 15-minute time frame and look for my 2-2 setups, right? Check XAU USD for confirmation to USD JAPI and vice versa. That's where the USD JAPI and the gold come in handy. Times to check: 6 a.m., 4-hour, and 1-hour candle. If I do not have direction, check back at 7 a.m. So I check back at 7. I wait for the hour, and I wait for the new hour candle to open at 7. If there's nothing by then, check 8 a.m. 1-hour candle. Direction should be identified by now. If there's no direction identified by then, I'll wait till the 9-hour. If I do not have direction at all, chances are by the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle, I'm going to have direction. So this is where my entry is going to be, right? Another time that I'll check is 12 p.m. on the 4-hour and 1-hour candle. There will be momentum and wicks possibly to fill. So I'm just going to be following the momentum of the higher time frame. I'm going to check 2 p.m. for Asian Open. Asian Open is usually always bullish. Just a little note to self, note to you guys. I've got Nikkei Open. This is when trading Nikkei Open, trade 1 hour before for pre-push. If you do not know direction of trend for the push, check the 15-minute time frame 15 minutes after the open. Usually you're going to have direction of the trend by then. Check the 1-hour time frame and see if there's any wick to fill. Identify 2-2 structures, etc. Make it easier on yourself. Every open will have a pre-push, then go the opposite direction for the open. So identify supply and demand zones. Actually, this is a little bit wrong. I didn't add another factor in there. Every open will have a pre-push, then either go opposite direction for the open or continue pushing bullish or bearish. So I don't want to confuse you guys too much that are not 100% confident or understand, but when there's a market open, right? So we've got like New York session that opens at 5 a.m., but we don't trade till the hour after because that's when the new 4-hour candle opens. We've got Asian session in the afternoon. We've got London session. Those are the 3 main sessions. But the London Open is going to open at midnight. But between 11 to 12, there's probably going to have a pre-push. So it's either going to have a pre-push going bullish, it's going to hit a resistance and go bearish, or it's going to have a pre-push bearish, hit a support, and probably go bullish. Or we're going to have a pre-push that goes bearish, we're going to break a support zone completely, and we're going to continue bearish through the open, or we're going to have a pre-push bearish, break support, and probably continue going bullish through the open. That's how the opens work, especially London. London Open has like the craziest pushes for the most part. So making it easier on yourself. Identify supply and demand zones, aka support and resistance. Price will make 2-2 higher high or lower low structures in between zones. Higher high, I need to actually update this. And higher lows or lower high and lower lows. That's depending on if it's going to go bullish or bearish, right? So I've gone over those a little bit today on how that looks. I'll do a quick little recap. So if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, and if we're going bearish, we're gonna have a zone here, right? I'm just gonna draw up these zones because they've already been broken, and then I'm just gonna kind of just do it like this. Okay, so what this looks like is like this, right? We've got a higher high, we've got a lower low, now we've got another lower high, and we've got a support zone. Price broke the support zone. So if we're going to continue going bearish in momentum, you've got to identify, first of all, those higher time frame zones. So if I'm just going to draw up the 4 hour, let me go to the zones real quick. Okay. So I think we're over here somewhere, right? Let me just draw up some zones just so that they come up nicer on the chart. Let me see. Hopefully these will not be covering the whole screen, but okay, so we've got the structure. So now we've broken structure. Here's the next major zones, right, that we're going to. But what's going to happen is if we break a structure and we're still going bearish, we're going to create more lower highs and more lower lows. So now we have more lower highs, lower lows, right? Now we're going to have more lower highs and more lower lows, right? And then we're going to break a structure. So what has to happen is a structure has to be broken, and then it's going to pull up and it's going to make a new lower high if it's bearish. And then it's going to continue into momentum. It's just going to continue into the momentum until it hits the next zones. And then as you can see, like here's an example of a pre-push. So here's 2300. This is 11 p.m. This is 1 hour before London Open. So what do we have? Price made a lower high, and it dropped by 15 minutes. By 30 minutes into London pre-London Open, we've already dropped below. Let me delete this. We have already broken support on the 15-minute time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, it would have been clearer, of course, because we would be able to see what's going on more. But we've already broken the support zone 30 minutes before open. So then what happened? We have lower high. We have lower low. Whoa, chill. We have lower highs, lower lows, right? We're continuing in momentum. And then this is actually like a signature trade that I look for, right? I'm looking for a break of structure. We've broken structure, and it was right for London Open. We just tanked, right? Now we make another lower high, continuing through my lower low. And then my profit targets, if I even entered right at London Open, 10 pips. We already hit 10 pips in the first 15-minute candle. So this is how my profits come, guys. My profits come usually within the two 15-minute candles. I'm going for 10 pips each, but if there's a potential scalp to swing, just ride the stop loss and profits. That's it. But you can see all the way until around 1 o'clock, we dropped 21 pips. So you just call it quits. You're done for that London Open. That's it. You're done. Catching one move a day. So when it pertains to the 2-2 and the 2-1 structure and confirms, I'm looking for price to break a structure, or I'm looking for price to be like around a structure like a support, and it's failing to break going up, and it's making like a lower high. But in this case, price broke support, it made a lower high, and it continued in momentum, right? That ends up being like 2-2 because we have lower high, lower low, lower high, and a lower low, lower high, lower low. It's just 2-2. It's just continuing into momentum. It's making lower highs and lower lows. But that higher time frame, the 1 hour time frame for London, would have already closed like this. Like we've already broken this structure, right? We've already broken this structure, so why would we be going up? We're not going up. We're following momentum. We're just following the continuation of trend. That's what confluence is. This is how we're trading. We broke structure. Here's a small pullback. You can expect that. But here's 1 hour before. Here's another pullback, and then it launches down. And price ends up making, we're already higher time frame bias. Price makes lower highs and lower lows on the 15-minute time frame. So we're trusting the process. That's it, guys. So we're coming up on the time that I'm getting ready to close shop. Let me look through questions. The chat. Is there a chat? Oh, there's an actual chat. Entire audience. Can you guys see that? Whoa! Hold on. This just changed the game for me. I didn't even know there's a whole chat room in this. Wow. I love learning new things. Can you guys see this chat room? This is sick. I wonder if you guys can type in here, though. I'm not 100% sure. I just wanted to check to see if you guys had any other questions. I'm still learning how to work this GoToWebinar site. I haven't fully figured it out, but I'm getting better. Oh, maybe on dashboard. Nope, it's not on dashboard. Anyways, I don't see questions anymore. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. It's over here. I lost it. Hello. Oh, whoa, a lot of questions. Kyle, what is your time zone? My time zone is UTC 8 or California. California, Pacific Standard Time. That's my time zone. Will Wally go over London Open? Sorry, I didn't see our message in time. I think I went over London Open a little bit. Dante, that lower high is what is referred to as a retest? Yes, exactly. In pertaining to your question, like those lower highs end up being like the retest that you're looking to get in to continue momentum. Dante, yeah. What is a pip? Oh, Larry, we got stuff to work on, buddy. We got stuff to work on. You got to send me a message on Facebook so I can help you out. Pips are price in percentile, or what I like to say, profit in pocket. That's just like a little joke. Thanks for the info. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. My time zone is Singapore. Okay. I'm not sure the time zone for Singapore, but like if you send me a message, we can work on things together or whatever. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming. I'll be posting my next webinar soon, probably on, I don't know, maybe Monday or Tuesday. Trying to do 2 a week now to do market analysis with you guys. On top of with my students, trying to balance it out. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to close. And I'm just super stoked that you guys came today. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I will upload this on YouTube. So if you want to refer back to it, you can just go on my YouTube and check it out. All right. I am going to end now.